Howdy everyone, y'all know who it is, it's me, Yoshi the Pikachu Reacts, and I'm reacting to another Real Rumble episode because I finally posted again, Anti-Tails versus Mr. L. Luigi. It's Archie Sonic versus Paper Mario, Anti-Tails versus Mr. L. Let's go, wahoo! This is pretty good. And before Mr. L, I'm not sure but I'm really hoping to do the Tails. I'm usually getting against Tails in every fight. But let's do the new school. I know a little bit about.
This isn't Tails versus Luigi. This isn't a sidekick showdown.
This
is quite literally the opposite. Not just figuratively. We have the anti-freedom fighter mastermind Anti-Tails and the hypnotized alter ego, the Green Thunder, Mr. L. Today we find out which inverse character comes out on top. Today, we rewind Rumble. Cal Black's job as an evil count is not as easy as he makes it look. It takes quite a bit of work. Good thing, however, he has a really valuable assistant like Nastasia, pretty much being the best secretary an evildoer can ask for, if you ask me. In fact, it was Nastasia who hypnotized Luigi into becoming Mr. L. Back in 2007 in Super Paper Mario, when Luigi got captured and taken in by Count Black, Nastasia had Luigi brainwashed. Luigi was hypnotized into believing that he should go fight Mario and be against him. Now, even while hypnotized, Mr. L was longing for having a brother. This is where we introduce Brobot. Brobot is a robot, as you might guess. He's pretty much a robotic head with floating legs and hands, and was actually built by Mr. L himself to serve as a sidekick, for lack of a better word. Because what would you call a sidekick anyway? Or maybe just reserve him as sidekick, since Mr. L himself does not act like a sidekick. Unlike Luigi, Mr. L is of a main role kind of guy. He's brave, adventurous, and confident. Compare that to the timid and scared Luigi. But then again, we could also take this as Mr. L being cocky and egotistical, like a villain almost. Though in reality, he's kinda treated like an outsider by most of the minions. So maybe he just doesn't fit into any of these categories. And side note, Mr. L's mask must also be a really great disguise, because Mario seems to never recognize that Mr. L is in fact his brother. Mr. L's mask might actually be as good as Clark Kent's glasses. I don't know if it's better, but that's a different story for a different day. Now you're probably wondering, what are Mr. L's powers and abilities? Well, mentally, Mr. L and Paper Luigi act different. On a physical level, there isn't much to say that he's any more physically superior. There also isn't much to say that he's physically inferior as well, which leaves us with Mr. L being near or a direct scale to Paper Luigi himself. And if you know anything about Paper Luigi, you would know that on a physical level, this is not a man you want to face in battle. Paper Luigi can scale to Paper Mario, and if you want to learn about the insane stats of Paper Mario, check out Paper Mario vs. Archie Sonic. Paper Luigi can scale to having MFTL plus speed feats, easily have multi-solar system level durability and attack potency. What makes Mr. L even more dangerous in a sense is that he has an array of technology at his side. He was the one who built Brobot, and his mech has many different range attacks. As for weaknesses, Mr. L's confidence can easily turn into cockiness, and he was ultimately defeated. But at least he is great at giving enemies nicknames. I mean, he calls Mario Mr. Jumps all the time, he calls Peach Miss Always Gets Kidnapped, and he calls Bowser Mr. Gets Foiled all the time by the guy with a mustache. I wonder what nickname he's going to give Anti-Tails. As Newton's third law states, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This seems to also be the case for fictional characters having multiple incarnations. For every Optimus Prime, there's a Nemesis Prime. For every Goku, there's a Goku Black. For every Superman, there's a Bizarro. And for every Miles, there's an Anti-Miles, also known as Miles Prower. But what a missed opportunity to call him Kilometers Prower. Well, maybe that does sound weird, I take it back. Now, Anti-Tails isn't a special case. There is an This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is no prep time. Let the battle begin!
Tails has way too much speed and is way too smart. mean, sure, Mr. Elbow robot,
With Flonase, allergies don't have to be scary. You're good.
Anti-Tails is done.
Upgrade to download videos and watch anywhere at any time. Try our student plan free for 1 month.
Archie universe is a hell of a lot stronger than the paper universe, which is pretty obvious.
You stupid! Hey, little brat, be more careful next time, you stupid human.
I am Mr. L.
What a stupid...
I'm a number one.
This is or not.
Immobilized. This was a good fight after all. But you need to die now.
You need no choice. I need to my fellas. Don't try me, robot. Bye bye.
I never rode an attitude from beginning of a cry.
Come back to the flowers. Well, Mr. L got screwed over and got effed up. I would have thought would have began when they began the fight.
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Hampton Pro. I'd also like to thank Cyril Smith VA for the voice acting, and I owe a huge thanks to the Mecha Gamer for specially requesting this episode. Thanks, and enjoy the post-analysis. Mr. L stays true to his name and takes an L, making Miles the winner. But he doesn't win by miles, he probably wins by inches, as it is quite a close battle. Both characters are insane, strong, durable, and powerful. But we gotta keep in mind that Mr. L is not going to have the pure hearts like Paper Luigi would have. In fact, the blue heart was granted to the heroes after they defeated Mr. L. And while Super Dimentio could easily give Mr. L the victory, I don't think it'd be fair to factor that considering Dimentio is in control of that form. This fight is a lot like base Archie Tails versus base Paper Luigi. Not Paper Luigi at his best versus Archie Tails at his best, but base Paper Luigi versus base Archie Tails. That's essentially what I see Mr. L versus Anti-Tails being regarding their physicality at least. With those scales in mind, I think Anti-Tails has an edge in travel speed and likely a slight edge in speed Also, considering that Mr. L relies far more on tech than Anti-Tails, this could actually come as a detriment, believe it or not. Anti-Tails is far more naturally mobile with his natural flight capabilities. The Brobot isn't super convenient for fighting smaller-sized individuals. Why do you think Paper Mario never opted to get a giant mech suit to go against it? He always had a mobility advantage attacking something while he was being physically smaller, making the winner of this Rumble Anti-Tails. On the next episode of Rewind Rumble.
Who's next? This is a Mega Man versus Beck versus a Mega Man person. Spaceman. Beck versus Mega Man. That should be interesting. I don't know who Beck is, but I know who Mega Man is. And Mega Man is not too powerful. In Smash Bros. In a way. And Smash Bros. He sucks. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't please like, subscribe, channel. Bye. And plus, video game rap battles are going to be back for today. So I'm going to watch that a little later.